So, what's my topic? So, my topic was the female reproductive system. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit. This right here is a little comparison about the female and the male reproductive system, a little differences of them. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the anatomy of it. So, I'm going to talk about like the organs. I'm going to talk about the uterus, fallopian tube, ovary. I'm just going to give you guys like a little brief description of it. Um, like, not going to go very much into detail, but I'm going to give you a description of it. So men and women are similar, but also very different. When it comes to the reproductive system, for example, a male's reproductive system only has to produce and deliver male gametes, sperm, to contribute to reproduction. On the other hand, us women's reproductive system must supply a gamete, an egg, receive the male gamete, sperm, provide a place for the developing fetus to mature, the birthing process, and then we nourish the infant. Um, Male's reproductive system will produce hormones every day, and women's will not. Women's reproductive system works in monthly cycles. So the monthly cycles will be your menstrual period. So how does the female reproductive system work? I don't know. It's like I'm kidding. The female reproductive system provides several functions. So the ovaries produce the female egg cells called the ova or the oocytes. The oocytes are then transported to the fallopian tube where fertilization by a sperm may occur. The fertilized egg then moves to the uterus, where the uterine lining has thickened in response to normal hormones of the reproductive cycle. Once in the uterus, the fertilized eggs can implant into thickened uterine lining and continue to develop. If fertilization does not take place, the uterine lining is shed as menstrual flow. So that's basically how you get your period. In addition, the female reproductive system produces female sex hormones that maintain the reproductive cycle. During menopause, the female reproductive system gradually stops making the female hormones necessary for the reproductive cycle to work. At this point, menstrual cycles can become irregular and eventually stop. 1 year after menstrual cycles stop, the woman is considered to be menopause. So, a fact. You will not die without your reproductive system. Some women have to have their reproductive system or their uterus taken out because maybe they had cervical cancer or they had endo or they just had a certain disease that caused them to get it taken out. So you can survive without your reproductive system. So the female reproductive system includes the internal sex organs, the external sex organs, and the breasts are also part of the female reproductive system. So major organ structures are the ovaries, um, accessory structures, uterus, uterine tubes. The uterine tubes are also called fallopian tubes. Vagina, the vulva, and breast. So this is called vulva, and this is the breast. Okay, so this is just a picture of. Oh, what's wrong? So this is a picture of the ovaries, the vagina, the cervix, the uterus, which is like pear-shaped, the fallopian tubes, where the egg travels and goes into the uterus. So the ovaries are two small organs. Each ovary measures 3 centimeters long, 1.5 wide, and 1 centimeter thick. So ovaries, ovaries. These are two small organs. The fallopian tubes connect the ovaries to the uterus. The released egg moves along a fallopian tube. So the fallopian tube connects um, the ovaries to the uterus. The uterus or womb is where a baby would grow. It takes several days for an egg to get to the uterus. Oops. So uterus. The cervix is narrow entryway in between the vagina and the uterus. The cervix is flexible so it can expand to let a baby pass through during childbirth. The vagina is like a tube that can grow wider to deliver a baby that has finished growing inside the uterus. Vagina, cervix. In the vagina, there is mucus that keeps that protects the vagina. Okay, another little fact. The opening of the cervix is very small, no thinner than a straw. No wider than a straw, sorry. Which is why a tampon can never get lost inside a girl's body. During childbirth, the cervix can expand to allow a baby to pass. So, I put this little thing here. It's like tampons talking to each other. So a tampon cannot get lost. So, external organs. The vulva covers the entrance to the vagina. The vulva has 5 parts, which are these 5 parts. So this is the vulva. So the mom's pubis is a mound of tissue skin above your legs in the middle of the area. So this is your mom's pubis. All this right here is your mom's pubis. The labia are 2 sets of skin folds, often called lips, on either side of the opening of the vagina. The labia majora are the outer lips. The labia minora are the inner lips. It is normal for the labia to look different from each other. So the inner lips are in here, and the outer lips are out here. The clitoris is a small sensitive bump at the bottom of the mom's pubis that is covered by the labia minora. So the clitoris is right there. The urinary opening below the clitoris is where urine pee leaves the body. Urinary opening. And the vagina opening is the entry to the vagina, and it is found below the uterary opening. Vagina opening. So, breasts are also part of the female reproductive system. They produce milk for infant. Each breast is superficial to major muscles and is mostly composed of adipose tissue and collagen. So that was a little bit about, like explaining where the parts were, a little bit about what they look like. Just talking about how fertilization happens and how does the female reproductive work. So that